Today I will have my chamber music concert. Normally on my concert day, I don't arrange anything else. I need to make sure to sleep well, eat well, and rest well. Everything needs to be prepared. I will also play through my entire concert program. I need to prepare speaking notes to talk before and between the pieces in the concert, introducing the composer and the background of each pieces. Now I need to follow my checklist of what I need to bring to the concert and load everything into my car. Since my chamber group agreed to wear red and black, so I have my red dress ready. Hair iron, dress tape, I will just bring them in case. These are my shoes and earrings. I'm also bringing a warm scarf to keep myself warm. Of course, most importantly, I should not forget my music score. For the chamber music concert, musicians normally read their music. In chamber music, the piano score is the thickest because it includes all the instrument parts. This makes the pianist in a chamber music group somewhat like the conductor of an orchestra, as they see all the instrument parts. Other individual musicians only see their own parts. I normally don't wear contact lenses except at concerts. Now everything is ready. But there's one more thing I need to do. For a lady, what is the most important thing? Did you get it? Of course, the makeup. Without the makeup, how can you be on stage? If I have extra time, I usually go to Macy's beauty department and have someone do my makeup so I can close my eyes and relax or meditate. So today I had Jenny from Dvora do my makeup. Don't you think she did a good job?
It's good, right?
Now I'm ready and heading to the concert hall. The concert is at 7:30 p.m. and musicians arrive early to warm up and do a sound check. Before changing my outfit, I asked the violist to practice with me on a few spots to make sure the transition between piano and the viola goes smoothly. After quickly changing my dress and shoes, now is the time to choose the earrings.
This one?
Which one is better?
This one.
Every musician in the chamber group has arrived, so let's quickly run through some parts of the music as a warm-up. We also practiced walking on stage. The audience are coming gradually. We are in the green room preparing for the final moments. Each person is doing some touch-ups on their own part. I am the only one need a page turner. You know, page turner is not an easy job at all. First of all, the person needs to know how to read music really well, and they also need to know what is the best moment and position to turn the page so that the pianist can transit smoothly from one page to another. Thank you, my student Jean did a wonderful job during the concert as a page turner.
Now is the time.
Bye.